Dear friends, Taha is one of our successful grads and person who is now applying to be admitted to the role of Solicitors of England and Wales. My congratulations on passing the SQE exam.
Thank you very much. Basically, I actually did a business and management degree at Aston University. I graduated in 2017. I currently work for a firm dealing with second-hand clothing, used clothing, and actually did the accounts and marketing and management bit. Long story short, COVID happened. I came back to Tanzania. I started sitting in a law firm, spending some time there, experiencing how things work. Suddenly, an interest popped up to see that I want to actually do law. I never thought I'm going to go back into education once again, but there I am. Suddenly, the interest developed during COVID. I started searching on the best ways to qualify as a solicitor. Whilst I was searching, I suddenly found out that the SQE is coming up, and this was in the year 2021. I actually waited from 2020 to 2021 to actually qualify through the SQE route, which was quicker. Along being dual qualified, that means I can actually use that qualification to work in Tanzania.
Oh, that's great. So it's recognized in Tanzania.
The law in Tanzania says that if you're a qualified solicitor in England, you should be admitted to the bar in Tanzania.
How hard is Tanzanian bar exam as against the SQE?
The Tanzanian bar exam is the main prerequisite is that you need a law degree. And then you have to go to law school for 1 year and go to law school, and then you qualify as an advocate.
Let me clarify. You used to study in the UK, so you have a law degree from the UK.
I have a business degree from UK.
So you basically had to study the law from scratch.
Yes, so I started off with the SQE1.
How long did it take you to prepare for the SQE1 in general terms?
So SQE1 took me at least a good 8 months. Part of it was part-time, and then most for the end bit was for the last 4 months was about full-time. I dropped everything else to study the SQE1.
So you had to pretty focus on the studies. Could you combine it with the actual practice or any kind of other work?
So I was doing some work experience in the beginning until the last 4 months, and then which I then solely focused on passing the SQE1. I was actually in Tanzania. I went to England to study for about 2 months, and I studied, made sure no distractions were there for me to complete the SQE1. And I'm happy that I passed on the first attempt.
How was your SQE2 experience? I know you because you joined us for a few mocks, but in general terms, how difficult is the exam as against SQE1, if you could compare?
I would say SQE1 is a different ballgame compared to SQE2. SQE1 is multiple choice. Yes, it is a lot of hard work. There's a lot of different aspects that someone has to consider, especially coming from a non-law background. It was quite difficult to grasp. I wanted to complete the SQE2 within 4 months of completing the SQE1, but I changed my decision because I thought this is quite deep and it wasn't feasible for me to complete it at that point. So I actually, instead of sitting April 2022, I actually set the exam in October 2022.
It's not that crucial delay, to be honest, so well done with the preparation. What is the most important in the preparation, in your opinion?
Do as many mocks as you can, and it's not theory based, it's actually practical based. So you actually have to know what you're doing. Secondly, it's a skill based exam. So it's not only about theory, there's marks for skills as well. So make sure you improve on your skills. And that's where it came. That's once when I was searching for a provider to improve my skill set, especially for advocacy, for interviews. This is where I turned to Super Exam for additional help.
So, and how do you find it? Was it helpful? It was like last moment preparation, right?
During that time, there's very few providers. This course is still new. There's not a lot more information in the internet. But this is when I started searching for providers. That is when I came across Super Exam to get more practice. And this was quite last minute as well because I was struggling at the end. I thought I'm missing something and I need to get that extra something that can help me pass my exams.
So, and you handled few advocacies and interview and attendance note. And how do you find it? Was it as difficult as the exam or less difficult or more difficult?
Everybody tends to undermine the skills. Oh, it's just an interview. I think I'll be able to do it. There's nothing I'm missing on. I don't think I should focus more on the advocacy than compared to the interviews. But when I sat with Super Exam, the feedback that I got, the ideas that I thought were irrelevant were the most relevant. The skill sets that I thought was most irrelevant, I found out to be the most relevant. And that is what I applied in the exam as well.
So you basically prepared on your own or with some other provider, and then you came just for few sessions, right?
So I was actually with to get the material. In terms of extra practice that I needed, I was looking for an additional provider. And even though it was quite late, I turned into super exam where where I was provided the help that was required to me. The area specifically where I was weak, especially in the advocacy, especially in the interview, and there's quite a few areas that I was quite bleak, even though it was quite close to the exam. Super exam actually helped me to get more conciseness within those areas, so that would be more beneficial for me once doing the exams.
Advocacy and interview, right? Oral.
Advocacy and interview, that's where I struggled the most.
Because how you can train it, you can't, it's impossible. You need to have some interaction, right? And
especially when you've never done it before, you've never done it before, it's the first time you're doing it. Yes, you may have done it during your work experience, but what they're looking for in the exam is quite different to what is happening in the work experience. And then additionally, it's the attention to detail, the little things that matter. You have to make sure that you get those right. Even if you get the law incorrect, at least your skill set, you still pick up marks there, which a lot of people don't know about.
So this is to say that even last moment preparation can make a difference, right?
Of course, it's the most critical moments that you need, the most critical information that can change whether you can pass or fail. And the marking is quite strict as well, so you make sure that you've got all the crucial elements correct.
Thank you very much for your feedback and help, and we wish you a fascinating legal career.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all your support. Really appreciate it, and I encourage everybody to use Super Exam for their further studies and to ensure you pass the SQE2 and SQE1 successfully. Thank you very much.